For over 2 months now, demonstrators have gripped the Asian financial hub. Protesters initially took to the streets to oppose an extradition bill with mainland China.
Here in Shenzhen, it doesn't feel like a city ready for a mass mobilization. That could change, but Beijing will hold off for as long as it can. It's a last resort. Sending in military or paramilitary forces would mean the end of the Hong Kong protests, but also be the beginning of something much more unpredictable on a global scale.
Tonight, there are serious questions following that mysterious explosion of a Russian nuclear missile 5 days ago. Some nuclear experts are calling it a mini Chernobyl.
The explosion happened at a missile test site just off the northern coast of Russia on Thursday. The government initially saying there'd been no change in radiation levels, but local officials now saying levels had briefly spiked.
Adding to the confusion over exactly what happened in that explosion last week and what threat levels remain.
"4,000 kilometers away in eastern Siberia, another explosion at a military ammunition dump site. The government blamed it on lightning.
There was a big explosion. I saw a colored mushroom cloud. It was very bright. I was slammed by a door that sent me flying."
A fire triggered powerful explosions at the facility on Monday. It was home to more than 40,000 artillery shells. Thousands of residents were evacuated. Russians in both regions are now demanding transparency from authorities.
Meteorologists confirmed that up to 16 times the normal radiation levels were detected in the area when they spiked immediately after the blast. Monitors say they returned to normal about an hour later. Not an immediate threat to life, but there are different types of radiation these readings may not have picked up.
Initially, though, Moscow had denied a leak, as it did covering up the Chernobyl blast 35 years ago, the world's worst nuclear accident.
In 1986, the Soviet Union didn't acknowledge the Chernobyl disaster until Western nations detected heightened radiation levels in Europe.
People are remembering what happened in 1986 at the Chernobyl plant. Of course, it's of a very different scale, but at that time there was also an information blackout.
In the last clip, pictures of another explosion were used with the caption saying that was Severodvinsk, but that was a different blast. It happened on August 5th. A fire occurred at an ammunition depot in the Siberian Krasnoyarsk region. Soon after the fire broke out, explosions began. The entire population of nearby settlements was evacuated. It took until the next day to finally put the fire out.
Buried today, 5 nuclear scientists, described as the elite of Russia's main nuclear test site, killed with 2 others when a small nuclear reactor exploded.
All that looked very dramatic indeed, but that was a different explosion.
It's the secrecy around this incident that continues to fuel fear and speculation, and it's shining a light on Vladimir Putin's nuclear ambitions. Are we heading for a new arms race?
Violent images coming in from Hong Kong all day long, the world now watching. Pro-democracy demonstrators who want to get rid of China's heavy hand, those protesters storming the airport again in Hong Kong.
Stand-ups like this one are happening on a nearly daily basis in different parts of Hong Kong these days, and there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. Actually, with each day that passes, both sides seem to be more and more entrenched in their position.
Into chaos tonight, with thousands of anti-government protesters taking over, forcing frustrated passengers caught in the middle to abandon travel plans for a second day in a row.
After a few hours, this protest fizzled out, but the political turmoil has consumed Hong Kong, and everyone here is expecting more chaos in the days to come.
Beijing's called this terrorism, and tonight is sending a message. Chinese state-owned media showing this video of military forces assembling near the border with Hong Kong for what they say are just exercises. It began as a protest over a law about extradition to China, but quickly grew into a massive pro-democracy campaign.
Well, I think the Hong Kong protesters are drawing a distinction that is really at the core of this crisis. And that is, there are two systems here that are contradictory.
Protesters waving American flags. And as you heard at the top of the show, those protesters, some of them, those there, they were singing America's national anthem.
One is the totalitarian system of the People's Republic of China, where more than 1 billion people are under the thumb of the Chinese Communist Party, and where there is no freedom, and where if you were to wave an American flag and sing our national anthem, you would be detained or worse. On the other hand is the United States and our flag and the freedoms that it represents, and Hong Kong people have enjoyed those freedoms for generations and have never been ruled by the Communist Party, and they're saying they don't want to be ruled by the Communist Party now, and that's the essence of the crisis here.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. As we can see what's going on, all right, in the world, we can see world events and what it's leading up to. All right, so let's get into it. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shaprakatah. You know what I'm saying? Peace to the gods of the planet of the earth. That's right. Reporting live here from the Atlantic Broadcast Network, live from Jacob's Trouble. And I want to start off with Jeremiah 51. Let's start at 5 to 6. Well, let's start at 6. And it says here, flee ye out of the midst of Babylon, that's America, and deliver every man his soul. This is not a physical flame. Okay, this is a spiritual flame. That's like, this is a precept to that would be Revelations 18:4. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity. But this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, 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 vengeance. God let everybody watch this Bible, Revelations, you know what I'm saying, Genesis to Revelations, vengeance, 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 vengeance. All right, so be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense, a payback. All right, that's what's coming to America for what you've done to the children of Israel. All right, 7 says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, so this is what we're saying in the world, that all the nations have drunk of the wine. What is wine? What does it say in is it Micah? Yeah, Micah 2:11 will tell you that wine is lies. Oh, this is lies. This is the policies of America and what they represent here. And you see that China and Russia are blaming America for the protests in their country. Why would they be doing that? Because it says here, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken with their lies. Okay, and their fake democracy in a republic, but we don't live in a republic. If you live in America, you know this is a max security prison that allows you to feel like you're free. The album that I didn't never get to make after Colluminations in 2009 was called Illusion of Freedom, Willfully Blind, and that's what you are here in America. All right. It said the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen. Hold on. Babylon is suddenly fallen. Hold on. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Okay, and that's what's the only ultimate destiny for America, because what you have done, what you're doing, and refuse to acknowledge and never take any responsibility for all your actions. It's always somebody else. It's always China. It's always Iran. It's always somebody else. That's what white folks do, though. What do they do when they get caught? When Epstein and Donald Trump get caught, what did they do? Blame somebody else. It's never you. It's never you, Esau. But the point is, I'm not saying that China and Russia are so clean and clear of everything, because they're dirty just like everybody else, because you're just acting like America. But you see you see the Chinese people waving American flags, singing the American anthem. See, they want to be like America. They think this streets are paved with gold here. They think it's sweet over here. It's not like that, because I'm being marginalized. If you got the full truth, dog, they're blocking you from being. You're not where you should be. You know what I'm saying? Because if you were where you should be and everybody was hearing you on the stage, you know what I'm saying, then we would be out of here by now. If you was on the stage where everybody had a fair chance to get the truth and get the facts. It's all deception. This is what the devil's job is, to keep you in deception, man. All right? You think that there's a liberty here. No, that's right. You do got liberty here in America, but that's the freedom we allow you to have. That's not freedom. There's a difference between, look at Black Law Edition, okay? That's not full freedom. Freedom, you can do what you want. You have the creative control to be able to be who you are. But we're in a place where it's not cool to even be yourself. These liberals claim to be liberal, but you're not liberal. Because as soon as somebody goes against what you don't believe, then now they're the devil and got to be ostracized and one-worded. you're a bigot, you're a what you call it, misogynist, or you're homophobe. What you see here, also you see Russia doing these missile tests, right? Russia is making sure they're expediting the process and making sure that their bombs are ready to go. That's why you see they said the new Chernobyl, they had an incident at a nuclear reactor, and you see they're making sure they're ready. Of course, the nuclear arm race is back, and I don't think it's ever left. You never fix any problems. What you do here in America is you just throw culture at it, you throw drugs at it, but you never address the issue. You didn't apologize to niggas. All you did is say, okay, now you can come to the 40/40 club and party with us. Okay, hip hop's here. All right, now. You know what I'm saying? But you don't never apologize for nothing that you did to none of us. LSD and drugs, and now everybody, yeah, it's groovy. Now we can party now in the 70s. Nah, man, apologize to what you did to us in the 40s and the 60s in slavery. And now you see the report that says 400 years. That's right. The 400 years is almost up, and that's coming up, what, on the 25th when slavery, the institution of slavery was started. The Black Holocaust. All right? You got no apology. And I wanted y'all to see is the biker gang. You see Vladimir Putin, he's with these gangsters. He's with the thugs in Russia. That's how he is. They all got machine guns. He got the briefcase with him. He's ready to launch these bombs at any time. He's a thug. That's who Vladimir, this nigga knows jiu-jitsu. He's not Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to set it off. Sorry, let's ban all white people until we get this thing figured out. That's all I'm saying. Do we got to tell you that the end is near? Do we got to tell you warning and a warning and a warning and a warning and a warning? Do we got to tell you that? You see it. Another point I also wanted to make is that the closer that that Black Jesus, Mashiach Yahushua, gets to the planet, okay, and that luminary body gets to the planet, which is going to be the kingdom of heaven, right? That's coming down from heaven, and as soon as that gets here, we're going to see the devices of the enemy come to non-effect. Their Gwen towers are going to lose their power. Okay, their mind control, the chemtrails are going to lose their power. Planes are going to fall out of the sky. Electromagnetic pulse is going to happen naturally because of the coming of Mashiach Yahushua. The closer that the luminary body gets to the planet, then you're going to start to see your devices start to malfunction. Take you to Psalms 33, and let's start at 10. And it says, the Lord bringeth the counsels of the heathen to naught. You see what I'm saying? And that's like Isaiah 13 when it says there's a tumultuous noise in the mountains and the government. He's bringing them to naught to make them fight themselves. God is instigating this thing. He's bringing their counsels to naught. The think tanks and the counsels that he took against us. Your Bilderberg meetings, they don't want this. The Bilderberg this year almost didn't happen because God's bringing their counsels to naught. The Lord bringeth the counsels of the heathen to naught, and he maketh their devices of the people to non-effect. So we're about to see their mind control lift off. And just remember that movie, The Wiz? Can't you see a brand new day? Remember that? I bring that scene up because it was like the Wicked Witch of the East of Regatta, where she don't bring me no bad news. But you see, when she got destroyed and the water came down, and all the workers in the facility, they started to bring up all their clothes, and they got these new robes, and they got their new body, and they started to see, like, hold up, man, we was in chains, we were in slavery, we just mind control minions. You call it automatons or robotic. This is what we have become. A bunch of zombies walking around here, man. Just doing what that TV tells you to do, doing what that radio tells you to do. And that's going to start to break off, and you're going to start to see the truth. But I hope that brothers and sisters see the truth before it's too late. Okay, that's what I'm here for. Don't go mad. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver your soul. Don't get caught up in this foolishness. This is not going to last. This stuff is over. Go your job and your rap career. I want to be a model, and I want to be an actor and a dancer. Let it go, man. Let it go. There's going to be plenty of music in the kingdom of God. Keep God's laws. Okay, that's the important thing right now. Come closer to the Most High. All the targeted individuals out there that are being tracked and targeted, because we all target if you Israel, but I'm talking about the ones that's feeling it, man. The direct energy weapons, the organized gang stalking. If you feeling that, man, what I suggest that you do is you read, brothers and sisters, read Psalms 94, 35, and 37. All right? In their entirety, man. Read it loud so these gang stalkers can hear you. You know you're being remote neural monitored, right? All right, so they can hear your thoughts, and that's what they do to me. They hear my thoughts and try to react to it and do this foolishness, man. They're gonna pay for this. We'll end it off with this. This is Haggai 2 and start at 5. According to the word I've covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt, the house of bondage, so my spirit remaineth among you. Fear ye not, for thus saith the Lord of hosts. Yes, it says, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord of hosts. The silver is mine, the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord of hosts. Hallelujah to the Most High God. My message to you, Israel, is to keep God's laws and live, otherwise die. The beginning is near. Shalom.